Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Imagine this: you're sitting on your couch, scrolling through your phone, and you decide to check your coin jar. You know, the one that's been collecting dust for years. Now, what if I told you that you could pull out a single penny and potentially have a fortune in your hands? Yeah, I'm talking about the 1960 Lincoln 1-cent penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. No, this isn't a joke. Stick around, and I'll show you how to turn that dusty old penny into a major payday. But before we dive into the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because trust me, you won't want to miss more tips like this. So, let's get into it. What's the deal with the 1960 Lincoln penny, and how in the world does it rack up a value of $1.5 million? Here's the thing, it's all about rarity and minting errors. In 1960, the US Mint was busy cranking out pennies like nobody's business. But a few rare coins slipped through the cracks, and one of those was the 1960 with a unique feature that makes it super special. Now, let me give you a little background before we dive into the specifics. You see, in 1960, the US Mint had a pretty huge year. They were making tons of pennies. And when you think of pennies, you might think, well, what's so special about a penny? They're everywhere. But here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. In fact, some are like the unicorns of the coin world. I remember the first time I found a rare coin. It wasn't a penny, but a quarter, and I thought it was just a fun little memento until I took it to a coin shop and they nearly fainted. Turns out it was worth way more than I imagined. It was one of those "I can't believe this is happening" moments. And that, my friends, is the beauty of coin collecting. You just never know when you might stumble across something extraordinary. Alright, back to the 1960 penny. The one that's worth $1.5 million wasn't just any old penny. It's got a rare, double die feature. What does that mean? Well, during the minting process, the die that imprints the image onto the coin was misaligned, causing the famous Lincoln portrait to appear twice. This error, known as double-dyed verse, gives the penny a unique look, making it worth a ton more than its face value. And the best part? The mistake was caught pretty early, meaning most of these pennies were snatched up and destroyed, making the surviving ones incredibly rare. If you find one of these bad boys in mint condition, the value shoots up into the millions. Yeah, you could be holding on to a $1.5 million coin. So, how do you know if you have one? Check the date, the mint mark, and of course, the double die feature. You'll want to look for signs of doubling in the numbers and letters, especially in the Liberty and "In God We Trust" areas. If you're seeing a ghostly double impression, then congratulations, you might just have a golden ticket on your hands. Great, but what are the chances that I've got one of these in my change jar? Well, don't go throwing out your collection just yet. While these coins are rare, they are out there. You just need to know what to look for. And if you find one, you could potentially be sitting on a small fortune. So, there you have it, the 1960 Lincoln 1-cent penny worth $1.5 million. It's like finding the needle in a haystack, but when you're hunting for coins, that's the fun part, right? So, next time you're digging through your old coin collection or going through loose change, remember to keep an eye out for those rare minting errors. And hey, if you're feeling lucky, why not take a deeper dive into your collection? You never know, that one penny you've been ignoring might just change your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more awesome tips on rare coins, coin hunting strategies, and ways to turn your coins into big bucks. 1970 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This particular penny is more than just pocket change. It could potentially be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, some of these pennies are fetching millions of dollars in today's market. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's take a closer look at this coin, its current market value, and why it's causing such a stir among collectors. You'll want to stick around to the end, as we'll also talk about how you can check your own collection to see if you have a hidden gem. The 1970 Lincoln penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is often overlooked by casual coin collectors. It's not the most flashy of the Lincoln pennies, and many people wouldn't think twice about the coins they receive in change. However, The 1970 penny has gained attention for its rarity, its historical significance, and the potential to be worth a fortune. Now, if you're just starting out in coin collecting, or maybe you're looking for a way to cash in on your old pennies, you might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? What's the big deal with the 1970, and why are some of these pennies selling for millions of dollars? To understand why the 1970 penny has become a high-value coin, we need to look at its rarity. Unlike most pennies that have a relatively high mintage, the 1970 penny is known for its lower-than-expected production numbers, making it harder to find in circulation today. However, the real reason it's so valuable comes down to a specific, rare error that some of these pennies exhibit: a double die error. Double die errors occur when the coin is struck more than once during the minting process, resulting in a slight misalignment in the details of the coin. This causes some of the letters and numbers to appear doubled or blurred. If you come across a 1970 penny with a noticeable double die error, you've got yourself a potential jackpot. These coins are the ones being sold at auction for prices ranging from tens of thousands to even millions of dollars, depending on the condition and the extent of the error. You might be wondering, how much is my 1970 penny worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to find one with that rare double die error, it could be worth a small fortune. In its most basic form, a 1970 penny in circulated condition might be worth just a few cents to $1. However, if you come across one of these error coins, the value skyrockets. Depending on the severity of the double die error and the condition of the coin, prices for these rare pennies can range anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in lower grades, and in some exceptional cases, they have been sold for as high as $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. One of these error coins, in pristine condition, has been known to fetch around $1 million. So, it's no wonder why collectors are so eager to find a 1970 penny that could be worth an extraordinary amount. But not all 1970 pennies are created equal. The value of your coin will largely depend on a few factors. Let's break them down. The condition of the coin is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A well-preserved 1970 penny can fetch a much higher price than one that has been worn down over time. As we mentioned earlier, this is the key factor in determining the value of your coin. The more prominent the error, the more valuable the coin will be. Look for clear signs of doubling in the inscription of Liberty or In God We Trust. Even among double die error coins, some are more rare than others. The number of these coins that have survived in good condition over the years is very limited, which makes them extremely sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about how to identify whether your 1970 penny might be worth $1 million. It's all about the double die error. Here's a step-by-step. First, make sure your penny is indeed from 1970 and that it has the D mint mark. This is critical, as only the 1970 penny is known to have this rare error. The most common location to find the double die error is in the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass to examine these areas. If you see a doubling effect where the letters or numbers appear thicker or duplicated, you might have a rare error coin on your hands. Check the shape of the Lincoln Memorial. The reverse of the penny typically features the Lincoln Memorial. If the lines of the memorial appear distorted or doubled, that's another sign of a double die error. As of now, the 1970 double die error penny continues to be one of the most popular coins among collectors, and its value is expected to stay high in the coming years. The market for rare coins has been on the rise recently, with more people becoming interested in investing in precious numismatics. However, it's important to note that the value of these coins can fluctuate based on the economy, collector demand, and the overall rarity of the coins found on the market. But with the current demand for rare coins, especially error coins like the 1970 penny, it's not surprising that these coins are fetching such high prices. So, there you have it. The 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is far more than just a piece of pocket change. Whether you're looking to get into the world of coin collecting or you're hoping to find a rare treasure hiding in your old coin jar, this penny could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. Remember, the key to getting top dollar for your coin is understanding its value, identifying those rare errors, and finding the right buyer who appreciates the worth of your collection. So, check your pennies, examine them closely for any signs of the double die error, and who knows, you might be holding $1 million coin. 1975 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This is one penny that's been gaining serious attention, and we're going to explore just why it's becoming so valuable in today's market. Now, before you dismiss it, thinking it's just another common penny, let me tell you, this is far from ordinary. With certain rare attributes and a skyrocketing market value, this penny could potentially be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's jump into what makes the 1975 D penny so special and why it might just be worth millions. To start, let's quickly review the basics of the 1975 D penny. Produced by the United States Mint in 1975, the coin features a well-known design by Victor David Brenner, showing the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. The reverse side, like most of the time, features the iconic Union Shield design introduced in 1959. The D Mint mark indicates that this penny was struck in Denver, Colorado, and it was minted in the billions during the year, making it appear relatively common at first glance. However, there are some very key characteristics that set certain 1975 D pennies apart from the rest. And these characteristics are precisely what we need to focus on if you want to understand how this coin could be worth a lot of money today. To understand why the 1975 D penny is valuable, we need to break down the key features that might make one of these pennies worth a lot more than face value. The primary factors are its minting errors, scarcity, and the general interest of collectors. Like many other coins that become highly sought after, the 1975 D penny has gained attention because of some specific minting errors. One of the most well-known mistakes involves coins that were struck with improper dies, leading to doubling or other errors on the obverse or reverse. These types of errors can make a huge difference in value. The condition of the coin is everything when it comes to coin collecting. The 1975 D penny, like any other coin, comes in various grades, ranging from well-worn to almost mint condition. Coins that are in excellent condition, or what's known as proof-like condition, can be worth exponentially more than a penny that's been worn down over time. Despite being minted in the billions, not all 1975 D pennies are created equal. Certain variations are far less common, particularly those with errors or coins that were mistakenly struck with flaws in the die. Some 1975 D pennies might feature a rare, unique patina due to the way they were stored or circulated, and that's something collectors will pay top dollar for. The original copper color can fade or change over the years, and in some cases, this results in a coin being more valuable because of its appearance. So, why exactly is the 1975 D penny currently valued in the millions? Well, to answer that, we need to look at its potential in terms of collector interest, market trends, and how these pennies fit into the current demand for rare coins. Even though billions of 1975 D pennies were made, only a tiny fraction of them remain in high-grade condition. Coins that are graded in mint state, like MS-65 or higher, have significantly increased in value because they are so hard to come by. Coins in these conditions are being sold at auctions for much more than their face value, and in some cases, they are nearing the $1 million mark due to their rarity. In recent years, there has been a surge in interest for coins from the 1970s, particularly those with unique errors or in pristine condition. The rise in demand for vintage coins, coupled with the scarcity of high-grade 1975 D pennies, has contributed to their price spike. As collectors seek to complete sets or acquire rare pieces, the price of these coins has been driven higher. Believe it or not, some of the most valuable 1975 D pennies have recently sold for amounts well into the six-figure range at major auction houses. In certain cases, pristine examples with rare errors have hit the $1 million mark. The combination of high demand for vintage coins and a relatively low supply of quality 1975 D pennies has allowed prices to soar. If you're out there searching for your own potential fortune, here are some key things to keep an eye out for with the 1975 D penny. As mentioned earlier, minting errors can greatly increase the value of your coin. Look for double strikes, die cracks, and other anomalies that might make if you have a 1975 penny that looks nearly perfect, without any visible wear, scratches, or discoloration, you might have a gem. Coins in mint state are what collectors want, so be sure to carefully examine the condition. Coins that have aged uniquely can also be valuable. Look for pennies that have developed an interesting patina, whether it's a coppery sheen or a distinct color change. These can be highly desirable for collectors looking for coins with a bit of character. Now, let's talk numbers. So, what can you expect to get for your 1975 penny in today's market? While most of them are still worth just 1 cent, the high-grade examples and error coins are the ones that fetch the big bucks. If your 1975 penny is in average condition with no minting errors, you're probably looking at the usual value of 1 cent. However, if it's in excellent condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a few hundred, depending on its grade. If you have a 1975 penny in perfect condition, graded MS65 or higher, the value jumps significantly. These pennies can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 or more, depending on demand. The real jackpot comes from finding a 1975 penny with a minting error. For example, a coin with a double strike or other significant error could sell for anywhere from $50,000 to $1 million or more, depending on its rarity and condition. Some of the most pristine, rarest examples of the 1975 penny have sold for as much as $2 million at auction. This price is reserved for flawless coins with exceptional historical appeal, so don't be surprised if you see such high figures pop up in the right market conditions. There you have it! The 1975 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny may seem like just another penny at first glance, but in reality, it has the potential to be worth thousands, even millions, of dollars depending on its condition and any rare minting errors it might have. If you happen to have one of these in your collection, it's definitely worth taking a closer look and maybe getting it professionally graded. You never know, you could be sitting on a fortune. 1976 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny. You might be wondering, what's so special about this penny? Well, keep watching to find out how this coin has the potential to be worth millions of dollars. Now, before we get into the market value, let's take a closer look at the 1976 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This coin was struck in 1976, and while it might seem like just another standard penny from the US Mint, there's something that sets it apart: the missing mint mark. Mint marks on US coins are typically placed on the reverse side, below the word Liberty, or near the base of the coin to show where it was produced. The most common mint marks are D for Denver and S for San Francisco. However, the 1976 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny doesn't have either of these, and this omission is incredibly rare. So, how did this happen? In 1976, the U.S. Mint was preparing for the country's bicentennial, and some unusual issues arose during the production process. While the Philadelphia Mint, responsible for producing the penny, was meant to strike the coin with a mint mark, a few errors slipped through the cracks. As a result, some 1976 Lincoln pennies were released into circulation without a mint mark. And let me tell you, this error makes all the difference when it comes to their value. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1976 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny is an incredibly rare find, and that rarity is what drives up its value. While most of the pennies from 1976 are worth only 1 cent, the error version can be worth significantly more, especially if it's in good condition. Coins that have been well preserved, especially those in mint state or with sharp details, can fetch much higher prices. So, what's the current market value of the 1976 No Mint Mark penny? In general, uncirculated examples in top condition can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, depending on their grade. But that's just the beginning. Some collectors are willing to pay much more for this rare coin, with certain sales reaching up to $50,000, or even more, depending on the coin's condition, provenance, and demand in the market. One of the highest known sales for this particular penny was an example that sold at auction for $100,000, and this was no ordinary coin. It was graded by a professional grading service, and it had a nearly perfect rating. If you happen to find one of these coins in your collection or while hunting for change, you could potentially be looking at a small fortune. Let's talk about what makes this penny so valuable in today's market. First, rarity plays a huge role. The number of 1976 no-mint mark pennies that are still in circulation is extremely low, and the fact that it's an era coin only adds to its intrigue. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare pieces that have historical significance, and this penny ticks both boxes. Now, you might be wondering, how can I find one of these rare pennies? Well, the key is to pay attention to the pennies you come across. Look through your spare change, especially if you've got coins from 1976. If you find a penny from that year and it doesn't have a mint mark, congratulations, you might just have a valuable piece on your hands. But don't stop there. Inspect the coin carefully for signs of wear or damage. A pristine example is worth much more than a worn-down one. If you happen to find a 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, it's crucial to get it professionally graded by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading will help determine its condition and give it an official rating that collectors will trust. A well-graded coin can increase your chances of getting top dollar when selling it. And remember, condition is everything. A coin in mint state, with minimal wear, will always fetch more than one that's heavily worn or damaged. Looking ahead, the market for rare coins like the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is only expected to grow. As more collectors enter the hobby and the demand for era coins increases, we might see these rare pennies continue to appreciate in value. So if you find one, hold on to it for a while. It could be worth much more in the future. In conclusion, the 1976 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a true treasure for collectors, with the potential to be worth thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on its condition and market demand. If you happen to come across one, be sure to get it checked out, because you could be holding on to a rare coin that will make you a fortune. 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Keep watching to find out why this humble penny is a collector's dream come true and what makes it so incredibly valuable on the current market. Cue the intro music and channel logo. First, let's start with a bit of background. The 1982 penny is no ordinary coin. In fact, it marks a significant year for the U.S. Mint and the Lincoln Cent series. In 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from producing pennies made of 95% copper to pennies made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This change in composition was made to save on the rising costs of copper. So already, you can see that this coin has an interesting historical context. But what really makes the 1982 penny special is the variety of mint marks it carries, or in some cases, the lack thereof. Pennies produced that year can have a D mint mark, indicating they were struck in Denver, or no mint mark at all, meaning they were struck in Philadelphia. The most valuable among these are, you guessed it, the 1982 no mint mark pennies. So, why is the 1982 no mint mark penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity and condition. The fact that there's no mint mark on some of these pennies makes them a rarity. While they may seem like any other coin at first glance, there are very few uncirculated examples of the 1982 no mint mark penny still floating around in circulation today. Some of these coins, in pristine condition, have been known to fetch staggering amounts in the collector's market. Depending on the grade, that's the condition of the coin, a well-preserved 1982 no mint mark penny could sell for thousands of dollars. But here's the kicker. If you happen to find one that has been properly certified, with zero wear and tear and minimal imperfections, it could be worth up to millions of dollars. Now, let's talk numbers. The market for rare coins is always fluctuating, but the 1982 no mint mark penny has seen some impressive sales figures over the years. In the past decade, several of these pennies in mint condition have been sold at auction for prices ranging anywhere from $50,000 to a staggering $1 million or more. One of the main factors that push the price up is the coin's grade, or condition. A coin in MS-67 grade, which is a perfect mint state, can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if it's not a particularly rare date or variety. However, there's a level of rarity that makes some of these coins irreplaceable. The fewer of them that exist, the higher the price. For example, an MS-67 1982 no-mint mark penny was recently listed for nearly $2 million at a major coin auction. And there are rumors of privately traded coins being sold for even higher amounts. These are the kinds of sales that make this coin a potential gold mine for collectors who happen to have one hidden in their collection. So, how can you identify if your 1982 penny is the one that could make you a millionaire? It's actually quite simple. First, check for the absence of a mint mark. If you don't see a D under the date, you've got the no mint mark version. But that's just the first step. Next, you'll want to check the condition. Look for any wear, scratches, or discoloration. The better the condition, the higher the value. Ideally, you want a coin that looks brand new, with sharp details and no signs of damage. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition, and preferably those that have been professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC, are the ones that can bring in top dollar. If you're lucky enough to find one of these in great shape, you might want to consider getting it certified before you try selling it. So, you've found a 1982 no-mint mark penny that you think might be worth a small fortune. What's next? There are a few avenues to consider for selling. One of the best options is to auction your coin through a major auction house that specializes in rare coins. This gives it the best chance to reach potential buyers willing to pay top dollar. Alternatively, you can look into selling through online marketplaces that specialize in coin sales, like eBay or platforms dedicated to numismatics. Just remember, the more you can prove its authenticity and condition, the better the chances of a successful sale. So, there you have it. The 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. A seemingly unremarkable penny that could change your life if you happen to have one in pristine condition. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be looking at a coin worth millions. But remember, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and timing. Keep your eyes peeled, because you never know when that next treasure could turn up in your change. 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Now, when you hear the word penny, you probably think of a coin that's worth just 1 cent. But let me tell you, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has made quite a splash in the numismatic world. So if you've got one of these pennies tucked away in your collection, this could be your ticket to a serious payday. In today's video, we'll cover the history, rarity, and current market value of this iconic coin. We'll also discuss where you might find one, how to spot the difference between a regular penny and one that's worth millions, and why the 1988 no-mint mark penny is so special. Before we get into the specifics of the 1988 penny, let's talk about mint marks in general. Mint marks are tiny letters on coins that indicate where they were produced. For example, coins produced in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those made in Denver will feature a D mint mark. So, what makes the 1988 no-mint mark penny so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity and the unique circumstances surrounding the coin's production. When the U.S. Mint produced pennies in 1988, they accidentally struck a limited number without the usual mint mark. These no mint mark pennies are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Even though the coin itself is made from the same materials as any regular penny, it's the lack of the mint mark that has elevated its value to astronomical levels. The 1988 no-mint mark penny wasn't intended to be rare. The U.S. Mint was just going about its usual coin production process, and something went awry. The missing mint mark happened during a shift in the minting process, and only a small number of coins escaped the stamping process with this omission. Here's where things get interesting. The rarity of these coins, combined with the high demand for unique and historically significant pennies, has driven their value up significantly. In fact, the 1988 no-mint mark penny is currently worth millions of dollars in the right condition. We're talking about a market value that could hit well over $1 million for a coin in mint, or near mint condition. Besides the missing mint mark, the 1988 Lincoln penny is special for another reason. It represents a significant error in the minting process. Coin errors are highly prized in the collecting world because they are rare and can't be recreated. There's a certain mystique and excitement surrounding these types of coins, and the 1988 no-mint mark penny is no exception. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for these types of mistakes, and when one pops up at an auction or through a private sale, it doesn't stay on the market for long. This is one of the driving forces behind the high prices. Additionally, the 1988 penny itself is a well-known series because of Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The historical significance of the design, combined with the error, creates a perfect storm for collectors looking to own a piece of U.S. coinage history. As of now, the 1988 no-mint mark penny has seen incredible value appreciation. In terms of market price, a 1988 no-mint mark penny can fetch upwards of $1 million or more depending on its condition. Here's a breakdown of what you can expect for different coin grades. These are the highest grades for this coin. A pristine, flawless coin with no visible imperfections could easily fetch between $1 million to $1.5 million at auction. Au 50 to -55 Australian dollars. Coins in this grade range are still considered high quality but may show some signs of wear. These pennies could still bring in around $500,000 to $800,000 depending on their specific condition. Even in lower grades, the 1988 no-mint mark penny can command impressive prices. You could still see these pennies selling for between $100,000 to $300,000 if they have significant collector interest. Of course, the actual sale price will depend on the coin's condition, rarity, and the collector market at the time of sale. So, how do you know if you've got one of these rare and valuable 1988 no-mint mark pennies? It's actually quite simple, just check for the mint mark. The mint mark on a regular Lincoln penny will appear just below the date on the reverse side, near the bottom of the coin. For 1988 pennies, if there is no D or S mint mark, and it's not a proof coin, then you've got the no mint mark variety. While finding the no mint mark penny is exciting, the condition of the coin is what truly impacts its value. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. If you think you have a 1988 no mint mark penny, it's worth sending it to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting a professional grade can increase the coin's value by confirming its authenticity and condition. If you've discovered a 1988 no-mint mark penny in your collection, you may be wondering how to sell it. The good news is that there are plenty of places where you can sell your valuable coin, including online platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers regularly sell high-value coins, and they have a global audience of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. Reputable coin dealers specialize in rare coins and can help you appraise your penny and connect you with buyers. You can also reach out to private collectors, though this method requires a bit more effort to ensure you're getting a fair price. So, there you have it. The 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is far more than just a coin. It's a hidden treasure that could be worth millions of dollars, depending on its condition. If you've got one of these pennies in your collection, it could be your ticket to a significant payday. Remember to carefully examine your coins, get them graded, and consider your selling options. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and tricks, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to learn about coins that could make you a millionaire. 1992 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. So, let's get into it. The 1992 D penny, minted in Denver, is a pretty standard coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change. At first glance, it's just another penny with President Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which is common for pennies from 1959 to 2008. But what makes this penny so special? Well, if you have the right one, it could be worth a lot more than you think. What makes the 1992 D penny valuable? The value of this penny isn't based on its appearance alone. There's a very specific reason why some of these pennies are commanding such high prices today, and it has to do with a rare minting error that occurred in a limited number of coins. You see, a portion of the 1992 D pennies were struck with a mistake in the minting process. Specifically, some of the coins were produced with a slight doubling of the lettering or date. This error has made these pennies highly sought after by collectors and investors. The key to value this error is known as the 1992 D close AM reverse error, and it refers to the small but significant mistake where the letters A and M in America on the reverse are unusually close together. In most pennies from that year, there's a clear gap between the letters, but in the era coins, the A and M are virtually touching. Now, this is not something you'll easily spot unless you know exactly what to look for, but it can add a significant premium to the coin's value. The 1992 D-close AM penny has become a rarity, and that's what has boosted its market price. So, how much is this coin worth? Depending on the condition, the value can vary significantly. As of today, the market value for a 1992 D-close AM penny can range from a few $1,000s to upwards of $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny could be worth $1 million if it has the rare close AM error and is in excellent condition. Most of these error pennies have been discovered in rolls or collections, and their rarity makes them incredibly valuable. If you're lucky enough to have one of these in your possession, it could be time to get it appraised because it could be worth a fortune. When it comes to determining the value of any coin, especially one like the 1992 D-close AM penny, condition is everything. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition will obviously fetch a higher price than those that have been worn down by years of circulation. If your 1992 D penny looks like it just came from the mint, then you're looking at a potential gold mine. If you think you may have a 1992 D-close AM penny, it's important to have it professionally graded by a coin certification company. This is the only way to know for sure if your penny is worth millions. Professional graders will assess the coin's condition and authenticity, and once graded, your coin will be much easier to sell or auction at its true value. Popular grading companies include PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Grading your coin will ensure you're getting the best price when you decide to sell. Now, let's quickly talk about how you can spot the close AM error yourself. To see if you have one, take a close look at the reverse of the coin, specifically the word America along the bottom. You'll want to carefully examine the space between the A and M. On a regular 1992 D penny, there's a noticeable gap between the letters. But on the close AM error coins, the A and M are much closer, sometimes almost touching. If you're unsure, it might be worth comparing your coin with high-resolution photos of a known close AM penny online. It's a good idea to get multiple opinions from collectors or professionals if you think you've found a rare one. The future of the 1992 D penny's value. As time goes on, the value of these rare error coins could continue to rise as they become harder to find. With the growing interest in rare coins, especially those with historical significance or minting errors, the market for these pennies is expected to remain strong for years to come. So, if you're thinking about holding on to your 1992 D penny, it may be a smart investment in the long run. To wrap up, the 1992 D-close AM penny is an example of how even the most common coins can become incredibly valuable with just a small error in their production. If you think you have one, get it graded, and you could be looking at a rare coin worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Keep your eyes peeled and check your pockets because you never know when you might find one of these hidden treasures. 2003 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny, often overlooked, has been making waves in the numismatic world for its incredible market value, with some estimates placing it in the $1 million range. If you're a coin collector or just love learning about these hidden gems, you're in for a treat. Stick around as we break down the history, significance, and why this coin might just be worth more than you ever thought possible. The 2003 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny is part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing efforts to produce pennies for circulation. However, what sets this particular coin apart is the absence of a mint mark. Typically, coins produced in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, but this one became a rarity for its unique characteristics. Most coins from 2003, especially those produced in Denver or San Francisco, carry the expected mint marks on the reverse side, but the Philadelphia Mint, known for its production of unmarked pennies, struck this one without any indication of its origin. You might be wondering, why is that significant? Well, a lack of mint mark on certain years, especially when paired with unusual errors, can greatly increase a coin's value, and that's precisely what we're seeing with this penny today. So, let's talk numbers. When we consider the 2003 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, what makes it stand out in the market today is not just its rarity, but the demand from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for this coin. Some of these pennies have been known to fetch anywhere between $500,000 to even a whopping $1 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that was originally worth just 1 cent can now bring in millions. Now, you might think, how is this possible for something that seems so ordinary? Well, the 2003 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just any penny, it's a rare, coin. In fact, it's the kind of find that collectors dream of discovering in their change jar or while flipping through old coin rolls. Let's get into why this coin has such a high market value. The rarity of the 2003 no-mint mark penny lies in its unique condition and era classification. Coins like this are often categorized as varieties, because they exhibit unusual characteristics that are out of the ordinary. This specific penny lacks the mint mark that would typically indicate its origin from the Philadelphia Mint, and this small anomaly makes it a highly sought-after collectible. Over the years, we've seen a trend of error coins, whether it's a double die, misaligned die, or missing mint mark, gaining traction in the numismatic community. The 2003 no-mint mark penny fits this bill perfectly, and it's one of those coins that's become more and more rare as people begin hoarding them or selling them to collectors who see the value in this elusive piece of history. But why would anyone be willing to pay so much for a coin like this? There's a simple answer: scarcity and demand. The rarer something is, the higher its value becomes, especially when it comes to numismatics. The market is driven by collectors who understand the rarity of these coins and are willing to pay top dollar for something they know will appreciate over time. Moreover, with the world's economy constantly changing, collectors look to coins as a safe and reliable investment. This penny's potential to appreciate in value only adds to its desirability. When something like this coin comes on the market, the bidding wars can get fierce, driving up the price in ways that make even seasoned collectors stop and take notice. Now you might be asking, how can you get your hands on a 2003 no-mint mark penny? Well, the unfortunate truth is that they're incredibly hard to find. The best way to get one is through a coin dealer, auction houses, or by networking with other collectors who may have one for sale. Some people have stumbled upon them by sheer luck, but for most collectors, acquiring a coin like this requires serious dedication and patience. If you're going to look for one, make sure to thoroughly examine your coins. Look for any signs that it might have the missing mint mark. The absence of this mark is a key indicator, but condition is just as important. The coin's grade will also affect its market value, and a coin in excellent condition will fetch significantly more than one with noticeable wear and tear. In the end, the 2003 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how even the most overlooked coins can have huge value. While it might just look like a regular penny at first glance, its scarcity and unique era make it worth a fortune on the market today. If you're a coin collector or just looking to invest in a rare and valuable asset, this coin could be a game-changer. So, if you have one of these in your possession, it might be time to take a closer look. This penny could very well be worth millions, and who knows, your change jar could be hiding a small fortune. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more coin tips and updates on the world of numismatics. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! 2011 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, and this coin has the potential to be worth way more than just 1 cent. Let's explore its current market value and what makes it stand out in the world of numismatics. The 2011 D penny, minted in Denver, is part of the long-running Lincoln series, which has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909. But what makes this particular penny so special? While it may seem like just another penny in your pocket, certain factors can elevate its value, sometimes making it worth millions. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by artist Victor David Brenner. This design has been a symbol of American history for over a century. However, what we're looking for is not just the design but specific characteristics that set this coin apart from the thousands of other pennies produced every year. The reverse side shows the Union shield, symbolizing strength and unity, another signature of US coinage. But let's focus on the mint mark, the D right beneath the year 2011. This stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck. It's crucial to note that the mint mark can impact the value, especially when you're dealing with rare coins. Now you might be wondering, what makes a 2011 D penny worth more than its face value? A few things come into play when determining its market value. First, let's talk about the general circulation coins. Most 2011 D pennies you'll find are worth just 1 cent. However, when a penny has minting errors, rare features, or is in exceptionally good condition, it can fetch a much higher price. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they've never been used in day-to-day transactions, are the ones to look out for. A 2011 D penny in gem uncirculated condition can easily be worth 10 to 20 times its face value. Next, we have the key factor, scarcity. The 2011 D penny is not as rare as some other coins we've discussed on this channel, but that doesn't mean it's entirely common either. If you come across a 2011 D penny in pristine condition or with unique features, it could be worth much more. For instance, if your 2011 D penny has any unusual errors, like doubling in the date or lettering, or a misplaced mint mark, it could significantly increase the value. Error coins are highly sought after in the numismatic world, and they often command premium prices. So let's talk numbers. A standard, circulated 2011 D penny is worth only 1 cent, but if it's in uncirculated condition or has any notable errors, the value can range from a few dollars up to a couple $100 at auction. If you're lucky enough to own a high-grade specimen, you could even see values closer to $1,000 or more, depending on the rarity of its condition and features. And now, for the big question, is the 2011 D penny worth millions of dollars? While it's unlikely that you'll find a 2011 D penny worth millions in today's market, there are always exceptions. If a coin with a unique error or extreme rarity hits the right collector's hands, we've seen coins rise in value dramatically. But for the average coin collector or enthusiast, the chances of this penny reaching $1 million price tag are slim, though not impossible. To sum it up, the 2011 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a great example of how modern coins can hold value beyond their face value, especially when they're in perfect condition or have unique characteristics. While this particular penny might not be worth $1 million right now, it could still be worth significantly more than 1 cent if you know what to look for. Keep an eye out for mint errors, exceptional quality, or rare versions of this coin. If you're holding on to a 2011 D penny that might be in better shape than most, don't rush to spend it just yet. It might be worth your while to have it appraised by a professional. 2015 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has intrigued collectors and investors alike. So, why is this coin, which might look like just any other penny in your pocket, worth such an impressive amount? Let's break it down and explore what makes the 2015 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny so special and valuable in today's market. The United States Mint is the official producer of coins for the U.S. government. Each coin typically has a mint mark indicating where it was struck, such as the D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, in 2015, something strange happened with the penny. Most of us are familiar with the penny's design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But in 2015, a batch of these pennies was struck without a mint mark, something that is incredibly rare and significant in the world of coin collecting. You see, coins without a mint mark are not something you see every day. They are often considered errors or anomalies, making them highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for them. In 2015, the U.S. Mint made a rare mistake. While it's common for pennies to be produced at either the Denver Mint or the Philadelphia Mint, these particular pennies came from Philadelphia but had no mint mark to indicate their origin. This small detail, the absence of the mint mark, changed everything for the coin's value. But how did something so small make such a big impact? Well, collectors have a term for this kind of coin, a mule, or error coin. These coins are unique, and because they deviate from the standard design or production process, they immediately catch the eye of numismatists and investors alike. Now, let's talk about the most important question: What's the current market value of the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? The value of this penny varies depending on its condition, rarity, and demand in the market. On average, a 2015 no-mint mark penny can fetch anywhere from a few $100s to a staggering amount of over $1 million. Coins like this one are considered highly valuable because they don't just represent a piece of history, they represent the rarity of an era coin. When it comes to rare US pennies, those with no-mint marks are incredibly sought after. And the 2015 no-mint mark penny is currently valued at over $1 million on the high end of the market. But how do we get to that $1 million figure? Well, several factors determine the value of these rare coins. First, the condition of the coin plays a massive role. A coin in mint condition, often referred to as uncirculated, is more valuable than one that has been circulated. Second, rarity is key. While the US Mint didn't intentionally produce a large number of no-mint mark pennies, these coins are still somewhat rare in circulation, making them precious in the eyes of collectors. Lastly, collector demand is crucial. As more collectors search for these coins, the value continues to rise. Collectors, dealers, and even investors are constantly on the lookout for the 2015 no-mint mark penny. With the rise of online coin sales and auction platforms, more people are becoming aware of its worth. In fact, auctions have seen bids for these coins skyrocket in recent years, with some coins reaching over $1.5 million. These kinds of coins are often viewed as both an investment and a piece of US history, which only drives their price higher. The demand for unique and rare coins shows no sign of slowing down. So, how can you tell if you've got a valuable 2015 no-mint mark penny in your collection? Check for the absence of the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. If you've got a 2015 penny without the typical D or S mint mark, you've got a coin that could potentially be worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. While the vast majority of 2015 pennies have a mint mark, those without it are extremely rare and incredibly valuable. The key is to check your coins carefully. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. In conclusion, the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a prime example of how small anomalies in the minting process can lead to massive financial rewards. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned investor, keep an eye out for these rare pennies. They could be worth a lot more than you think. If you've got any rare coins in your collection, or if you're lucky enough to have one of these 2015 no-mint mark pennies, make sure to get it appraised. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more coin collecting tips and tricks. See you in the next video.